Somewhat recently, there was this offer in the Clash Royale shop selling a book of books for an insane price, but not even too long ago, you were able to get that and way more for much less. I mean, you could get 2 books and 250,000 gold for like a third of what one book costs now, and what makes it even worse is that Supercell has a 10x value, meaning they're saying one book is over $200, and that is just crazy. And with the most recent announcement about the new lucky drops, which are pretty much like the star drops from Brawl Stars, you can really see just how bad the monetization was in Clash Royale, which is what we're going to be talking about today, as well as how the lucky drops can fix a lot of those problems. So the first big thing we have to start off with has to be the Pass Royale, which came out in July of 2019. And while it was fine and normal at the beginning, it would end up spiraling downwards and becoming one of the worst and most hated monetization methods for the game. Originally, the pass only had one pay tier, which was gold, and it cost only $5, but there was this Reddit post that broke down all the rewards, and basically it was a very good deal, and you definitely got a lot of value out of the pass. Pretty much everyone loved it because even if they didn't want to buy the pass, they still wouldn't be at any like big disadvantage, and it wouldn't make the game any less fun, which was really the most important thing and what companies really have to focus on when adding paid things to the game, since there is a fine line between it being perfect and it being paid to win. So the pass route was great since this was not a success, as they had also implemented a pass for Clash of Clans earlier that year, and in the future they would also add one for Brawl Stars. However, Clash Royale just ended up going down a different route. And while the pass had received some changes through multiple seasons that would kind of change it and make it a little worse in some ways, the biggest and most important change was really the addition of the Diamond Pass in the update for losers, which is also considered to be one of the worst and most detrimental updates the game has ever received, and it has only gotten worse. Basically, you can look at this chart and it tells you everything you need to know, but let's break it down by each tier. So basically, as for the free pass, it received a little decrease in gold, but a massive decrease in the value of the cards, which obviously wasn't good. The gold tier actually got a 1% increase in price while giving way less gold, though I suppose Clash Royale wants you to make that up with the value from the more and better cards you got. And then as for the Diamond Pass, it was a completely new thing and it was the most expensive tier, but it still gave less gold than what the old pass would have given. And so overall, you would get less gold than before while having to pay a lot more if you bought the Diamond Pass, and in Supercell's eyes, the increase in card value would have made up for it. However, this also just brought more problems with it, such as kind of decreasing the value of legendary cards just because you got so many of them, and also the fact that you wouldn't really have the goal to upgrade these new cards you were getting, which would force you to try and spend more money. And on top of all of this, they also removed the book of books from the pass entirely, which are arguably the most important item in the game, and these weren't even found in the Diamond Pass, meaning it was clear Supercell was trying to force people to spend money in the shop to buy outrageous offers like the one I showed at the beginning of the video. And so overall, the deterioration of the quality of Pass Royale has really been a key thing to signify a massive problem with the monetization of the game, since they're just heading towards taking more and giving less. But another massive problem was also the whole Clan Wars 2 thing that came out in August of 2020. This update, in my opinion, was the first one to really push the pay-to-win aspect of the game, and was an indirect and almost secretive way for Supercell to try and monetize the game more. It made it even harder for casual or free-to-play players to have a chance at winning the race and even just progressing in the game as a whole. The first big reason why is that quests were removed and the rewards were being put into Clan Wars 2, so to get these rewards you would obviously have to succeed in Clan Wars 2. The problem with this, however, was that you needed 4 maxed out decks, which is 32 maxed out cards, and that is absolutely impossible for any free-to-play player to achieve. And you can see from this picture just how pay-to-win the Clan Wars were. And can you guess which player is free to play and which one is pay to win? So yeah, this basically made winning almost impossible for free players, which stopped them from getting the rewards. The same rewards that they could have previously gotten from completing quests. So basically this update just hurt the free to play player tremendously and basically forced people to either stay losing or spend money to win. And this is how it was kind of a sneaky way to monetize the game, since Supercell was pushing towards players having to spend some money if they wanted to compete and have a good shot at winning, but it also wasn't a direct change to the monetization of the game, so it would be hard for them to directly get the blame and make it seem like it was deliberate. And there also was the Royale event in 2021, which was more of a scam than anything and really showed the deceitful monetization tactics. This event was basically making everything half off from the 18th of October to the 26th of October, and on top of this there was a gold rush event in which players could get tons and tons of gold through numerous ways, including just logging in every day. They also made it so you could stack magic books and buy them with gems now. There were many different deals and offers that at the time were a good deal, and players splurged on them as this was seen as a perfect time to go and max out your cards. So what's the problem? Well, in the middle of this event, Supercell announced level 14, and this was the first level upgrade in 5 years. But along with this, previous cards became much cheaper, and this is where the problem lies. Tons of people had spent money and gold on their cards to upgrade them, but after this update, those cards end up becoming cheaper, meaning players ended up actually losing gold by spending it before the update. A post on Reddit sums the situation up pretty well and really illustrates everything that people will lose, which was just insane. This was definitely a big blow to the community and was enough for some players to just quit the game. Supercell would end up trying to amend this after seeing all the backlash, and with some changes it would end up being not as bad, but in the end it has still left a bad taste with the players and has really shown what Supercell is willing to do to get some extra money out of the players and show some of their sneaky and insightful monetization tactics. And the next problematic monetization method is something that we have been seeing in more recent years, and this has really just been how they release new and super broken cards and make them really strong for about a month or so before making any changes, and they do all of this to get as many people to spend money to buy and upgrade these cards. And a big example was the Monk and Phoenix cards that released in October of 2022, since these were just completely broken and were clearly massive cash grabs, and now they're some of the least used cards in the game, especially the Monk, who I made an entire video on where I also explain this issue even more. But you can also see this in a lot of the other champion cards and just in some of the other more recent cards. And there were also the evolutions, which are kind of similar to the whole thing of making certain cards really OP and pay to win, but I'm just not going to bother talking about them too much since they are relatively recent and I'm sure everyone already knows the whole deal with them. So overall, the whole monetization in the game has really just gone downhill, with Supercell focusing on just making more money but basically making it really hard for any free-to-play players to compete, and did just continue to make things more expensive in the shop, like the Book of Books offer that I showed at the start of the video. But after all of this, we do have the brand new lucky drops, which are like the complete opposite since these are free, and they're very similar to the star drops in Brawl Stars and the massive giveaway they're doing right now. And it has been a meme of how the Clash Royale devs are basically just copying Brawl Stars, but honestly I'm all for it if that means the game is going to become less pay to win, since Brawl Stars is considered the least pay to win Supercell game and probably the biggest right now. So the introduction of these lucky drops could really signify a shift towards a more free-to-play friendly model for Clash Royale, and we will really have to just wait and see what the future holds for the game and what the devs do. But honestly, I am really excited about it, and let me know how you guys feel about it down in the comments as well. But that's also it for this video. Hope you guys did enjoy, and I'll see you in the next one.